Cambridge is kind of a unique city because it's an intellectual crossroads. It's a very global city. So the Muslim community is unlike that of most other Western European towns because it's so cosmopolitan. We reckon we might have 60 or 70 different ethnic groups and nationalities in the Cambridge Muslim community. The tragedy is that we're one of the few towns in Britain, believe it or not, that doesn't have a proper purpose-built mosque.
Yeah, particularly during the Friday prayers, I've noticed that the mosque gets really full and it spills out onto the streets. You have more people who have to pray out just outside the mosque on the roads.
When I first came to Cambridge, I was surprised really, because in Spain we had lots of, it was a beautiful mosque, and it was lots of space for the children, and there was lots of space for the children to run around outside, and they just really enjoyed themselves. And here it's like the opposite. Here it's just like there's no space for the women at all.
There is a clear need for an Islamic center, not just a place of worship where people can come and say their prayers and then return back to their work or go back to their homes.
We are very excited about the new mosque project. We're hoping that there will be a bigger facility for ladies and children, and hopefully a garden for the children to play outside as well, maybe during Jummah and just other times, and maybe a space for us just for us ladies to gather.
As Muslims here, finding a venue to do namaz, finding a venue to do Jummah particularly, can be quite difficult. We have a prayer room situated in the Sidgwick site in Cambridge, which is useful. But when it comes to having a bigger congregation like the one we're having today, we tend to have to find a venue from the university or in fact from the Christian community here in Cambridge. And to their credit, they have been very helpful.
Since I first came to Cambridge many years ago, Muslims have been dreaming of their own masjid, their own mosque, jami', a place to unite them and bring them all together. I think that the experience of having to go to different rooms in different weeks and checking your email for where is it going to be this week and that sort of thing is, I think, frustrating and has been very frustrating for people in the city for too long now.
Some years ago, it was decided that it was necessary to create a proper purpose-built mosque that would not only keep the Muslims out of the rain, but would act as a kind of showcase for Islamic civilization. So what we decided to do was to choose a design, and we had a major international competition, and some of the world's great architects put in bids and tenders for the work. And the winning entry was by Marks Barfield, the London architects that did the London Eye and a number of other landmark structures.
So the mosque is being built on a site which has now been cleared, and we've tried to take as many of people's concerns on board and how the mosque is going to be used and applied those in the design. So we have an underground car park, there's going to be lots of spaces for bicycles. You know, we're trying to meet the needs of people who maybe have lots of different backgrounds.
I was asked to design a garden, an Islamic garden for the new Cambridge Mosque. Of course, one of the challenges is to have a garden designed along Islamic principles, which is going to fit into an English urban environment. So, of course, we've designed it along fundamentally sort of universal but also Islamic principles, according to the wonderful descriptions of the gardens of paradise in the Quran.
One of the really interesting things was that when we went to the interview, there were quite a number of people who were asking us questions, including members of the local community, non-Muslim members of the local community. So the mosque was going to be much more than a place of prayer. It was going to be a local community hub where everyone would be welcome, where there would be education, there would be a cafe restaurant. The building would be open to the whole community, not just the Muslim community.
One of the unique features of this mosque is that it will be the Western world's first substantial eco-mosque. Waste is something that's strongly discouraged in the religion. So we have water recycling, we have the collection of rainwater, we have photovoltaic cells on the roof, so we generate some of our own electricity, we have passive ventilation, we have the building lit by natural light during the daytime to reduce power consumption. We have a number of other quite cutting-edge green technologies which make this building not just a showcase for Islamic culture as it's conventionally understood, but also a place that will inspire, we hope, other architects of major monumental structures to incorporate some of these new green technologies in the way they design and build.
We've seen the design for it, I mean, amazing. I mean, I think, you know, once achieved, it'll be known throughout the world, that mosque, as it should be for a city like Cambridge. Beautiful design and natural materials and traditionally built, you know.
The Muslim community in Cambridge has been very generous. We've had thousands of donations from different Muslim residents, but it's not a wealthy community, and it's unrealistic to expect them to come up alone with the funding for a multi-million-pound major monumental structure such as this. So we've launched a global appeal, and we've had donations recently from Hong Kong, from Indonesia, from Turkey and elsewhere. But we do need those funds to keep coming in, because a project which has been designed to be very high spec, a showcase of which all Muslims can be proud, is not going to come cheap.
Here's an opportunity to create a new kind of mosque in the UK, something that's very green, very environmental, something that speaks to the Muslim community about its heritage and its traditions, but also marries with the English tradition.
At a time in which Islam is being, on the one hand, severely misrepresented, and as a result, many questions about it are being asked, I think it's critical that we move from just talking about what Islam is to doing, and from doing to being as well. And I think this is what makes this project hugely unique, is that it is a way for us to exist, to do rather than just talk, but also to be Muslims and to exemplify what it means to be Muslim in today's world. This is why I encourage myself first and everyone to support this mosque project.
This is a wholly unique project. This is something that will stand out. This is something that all Muslims in the West will be proud of, inshallah, for generations to come. So we urge everybody to dig deep, to make whatever donations they can in order to make this dream a reality.